There comes a moment in life when you either decide to live small or rise like fire. And I need you to understand this right now. You were not born to be average. You were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out and dominate. The world will tell you to wait, to be patient, to play it safe. But listen, time doesn't wait for anyone. Every second you doubt yourself, someone else is out there acting as if they're the best, taking the opportunities that could have been yours. Stop walking like you don't matter. Stop talking like you don't deserve respect. Stop thinking that greatness belongs to other people. Greatness belongs to you, but only if you act like it. You have to walk into every room as if no one is better than you, because if you don't believe it, no one else will. Confidence is not arrogance, it's survival. The lion doesn't apologize for roaring, and neither should you. Act as if you are the best, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Demand more from yourself. Raise your standards and never bow to weakness. The world crowns the bold, and today you choose to wear the crown. Confidence is the foundation of power. And I want you to let that sentence burn into your mind, because it is not just a phrase. It is the key that unlocks every door you are afraid to touch. Look at every person who has ever achieved greatness, every leader, every champion, every individual who has ever walked into a room and owned it without saying a single word. What did they all have in common? Confidence. It wasn't luck. It wasn't some secret deal with fate. And it wasn't that the world handed them an easy path. It was that they decided to believe in themselves so fiercely that no one could convince them otherwise. The truth is, you can have talent, you can have intelligence, you can even have opportunity, but if you don't have the confidence to step forward, to take the risk, to raise your voice and declare your worth, then all of it goes to waste. Confidence is not arrogance. It is certainty. It is the certainty that you belong, that you deserve, that you are capable, that you will not fold under pressure. Think about this. People follow certainty more than they follow truth. If you walk into a room and say something with doubt, even if it's correct, no one listens. But if you say it with unshakable belief, with absolute conviction, people will align with you, because confidence is magnetic. Confidence makes people want to be around you, want to support you, want to invest in you. But most importantly, confidence makes you unstoppable in the face of fear. Fear will always whisper in your ear. Fear will tell you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that someone else is more qualified. But confidence silences fear. Confidence says, I may not have all the answers, but I have the courage to take action, and that's all I need. That's why it is the foundation of power. Without it, even the strongest person crumbles. With it, even the weakest person rises. But here's the secret most people don't want to admit. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you create. You don't wake up one morning and suddenly feel worthy. You act as if you are worthy, and eventually your actions convince your mind to catch up. You don't wait until you're the best to carry yourself like the best. You carry yourself like the best first, and that energy forces the world to treat you like it. The body follows the mind, but the mind also follows the body. If you walk with your head down, if you speak softly, if you hesitate, your brain believes you are small. But if you stand tall, if you make eye contact, if you speak with authority, your brain begins to wire itself into believing that power is natural for you. And once you believe it, others have no choice but to believe it too. Confidence is also forged in the fire of challenge. Do you want to know why so many people feel weak? It's because they avoid difficulty. They run from pain, from pressure, from the uncomfortable situations where growth is forced. But that's exactly where confidence is built. Confidence comes from doing hard things, from stepping into the unknown, from looking fear in the face and refusing to back down. Every time you do something difficult, every time you push beyond your limit, every time you survive what you thought would break you, you stack proof that you are powerful. And proof creates confidence. If you've never tested yourself, if you've never demanded more from yourself, how could you possibly believe in yourself? Confidence is earned in action, not in theory. It's earned in the gym when no one is watching. It's earned in late nights when everyone else is asleep. It's earned in the moments you choose discipline over comfort. That's the kind of confidence no one can take from you. Understand this. The world will always try to make you doubt yourself. Society thrives on weakness. Because weak people are easy to control, they want you scrolling, distracted, insecure, comparing yourself to others, questioning your worth, begging for approval. But you cannot give them that power. You must choose confidence. You must choose to wake up every day and act like you are the best even when you don't feel like it, because confidence doesn't care how you feel. It cares what you do. And when you do what strong, disciplined, powerful people do, you start to feel strong, disciplined, and powerful. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's not about never failing. In fact, failure is what fuels confidence. Every time you fail and rise again, you prove to yourself that nothing can destroy you. That's where real power is born. People who never fail never grow, and people who never grow never trust themselves. But if you've been knocked down and you've stood up again, if you've faced rejection and kept moving forward, if you've been through pain and kept your heart unbroken, that's when you realize that you are unshakable. And that realization, that unshakable belief, is the purest form of confidence. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the world to validate you. You validate yourself through action, through discipline, through courage. You must remind yourself every day that confidence is the foundation of power. And without it, you're playing the game of life with broken tools. But with it, you become unstoppable. Speak like your words matter, because they do. Walk like you own the ground, because you do. Face life like it owes you nothing, because it doesn't. But also like you can take everything you desire, because you can. Remember this always. The crown does not go to the hesitant. The crown does not go to the doubters. The crown does not go to those who wait for life to be easy. The crown belongs to the confident. The crown belongs to those who decide that no one is better, no one is more deserving, no one is more capable. The crown belongs to the bold. And if you want that crown, if you want that power, if you want that life, then act as if you are already wearing it. Act as if you are the best, because confidence makes it true. Confidence is the foundation of power, and power belongs to you if you dare to claim it. Walk as if success already belongs to you, because the truth is, the world treats you exactly how you present yourself. If you walk with hesitation, if you move through life like you're begging for scraps, the world will hand you scraps. But if you walk like you already own everything you're chasing, if you move with the posture of a winner, if your energy radiates certainty, the world bends itself to match that belief. Success is not something that just lands in your lap one day. It's a state of being, a mindset, a standard. The moment you carry yourself as if success is already yours, people begin to see you differently. Opportunities begin to open, and you start creating the reality that you've been dreaming about. This is not about arrogance. This is about alignment. Aligning your actions, your body language, your speech, and your mindset with the life you are building. Think about it. When you see someone walk into a room with their head high, shoulders back, eyes focused, and steps steady, you automatically assume they are important. You don't even need to know their name. Their presence demands respect. Now, compare that to the person who slouches, avoids eye contact, shuffles their feet, and speaks with uncertainty. No matter how skilled or intelligent they are, people dismiss them before they even get a chance. That is the difference between walking as if success belongs to you and walking as if you're hoping for approval. The world judges you within seconds, and before you even open your mouth, your body has already spoken. If your walk says, "I am not sure," the world will agree. If your walk says, "I already own this," the world will believe it. This mindset shift is powerful because success isn't just about money, status, or achievements. It's about identity. You cannot achieve something consistently that doesn't align with who you believe you are. If you see yourself as average, if you see yourself as small, then even if you get a taste of success, you'll sabotage it because deep down, you don't believe it belongs to you. But if you walk like it's already yours, if you move like a winner before the world sees it, then when success finally arrives, it will feel natural, not shocking. That's why so many people lose what they gain. They never built the identity to sustain it. Walking as if success already belongs to you is about creating that identity in advance. So when the opportunities come, you are already prepared to own them. Walking with success in your step also changes the way you face obstacles. Most people crumble when things go wrong because they are chasing success with desperation, hoping it will finally validate them. The moment they fail, they feel like imposters. But when you know success already belongs to you, setbacks don't shake you. You see them as temporary, as part of the process, as tests of your persistence. You walk through difficulty with the same posture, the same unshakable energy, because you know where you're going. People feel that. They notice that nothing breaks your stride, nothing makes you question yourself, nothing can make you step back from what you already consider yours. That's how leaders are built. That's how champions are recognized. And here's the truth most. People don't want to admit people want to believe in someone who believes in themselves. If you walk into a business deal, a job interview, a relationship, or even a room full of strangers with the attitude of, I hope they like me, I hope I'm enough, you're already defeated. But if you walk in with the energy of, I bring value, I am the prize, I already belong here, you shift the entire dynamic. People stop questioning you and start questioning how they can keep up with you. This is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about stepping into who you are meant to be. You don't need to wait until the money is in your bank account, until the title is attached to your name, or until the recognition arrives. You must walk as if you already own it, because only then will you attract it. Understand this: hesitation is visible. Insecurity leaks. The world can sense when you're unsure, and it punishes you for it. But certainty is visible too. Confidence leaks just as much. And when you radiate it, people are drawn to you. Doors open, and opportunities appear where before there was only resistance. Walking like success is already yours doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means setting a standard so high that you refuse to accept anything less than victory. It means acting today with the energy of the future you want to live in, not waiting until life hands it to you. And let me be clear, this is not about ignoring humility or kindness. Walking with success already in your step does not mean stepping on others or inflating your ego. It means knowing your worth so deeply that you don't beg for acceptance, you don't shrink to make others comfortable, and you don't apologize for aiming higher. People respect those who respect themselves. People trust those who trust themselves. And the fastest way to show the world that you respect yourself is by the way you carry yourself every single day. So from this moment forward, stop walking like life is heavy on your shoulders. Stop carrying yourself like you're waiting for permission. Lift your head, straighten your back, and move through this world with the certainty of someone who already has the prize in their hands. Speak like your voice matters, because it does. Act like you deserve the room you're in, because you do. Stop chasing success as if it's running from you and start walking as if it's already yours, because the truth is, it belongs to those who believe it first. Life will test you. People will doubt you. Obstacles will rise against you. But none of that matters if you never doubt yourself. Keep walking with the stride of a champion, the posture of a king, the energy of someone who has already won. Because the world does not give crowns to the hesitant, it gives them to those who carry themselves like royalty long before the crown ever touches their head. Walk as if success already belongs to you, because when you do, eventually it will. Never apologize for believing in yourself, because the moment you do, you hand your power to someone else. The truth is, most people are uncomfortable when they see confidence. They will call it arrogance. They will call it ego. They will call it delusion, because deep down your self-belief reminds them of everything they gave up on. But you cannot shrink to make them comfortable. You cannot dim your light just because others are afraid of shining. Believing in yourself is not arrogance. It is survival. It is the shield that protects you when life throws doubt, rejection, and failure at your face. If you ever start apologizing for it, you'll find yourself trapped in a world where you constantly need approval to move forward. And that is the fastest way to stay small. Understand this clearly. Nobody who ever achieved greatness apologized for believing in themselves. Do you think the champions, the innovators, the leaders of history waited for everyone else to clap before they dared to believe? No. They decided their vision was worth it, even when the world called them crazy. They understood that self-belief is the soil where success grows, and if you don't protect it, you will never grow strong enough to stand against the storms. Every breakthrough you admire, every story that inspires you, is built on someone refusing to apologize for trusting their own path. People will always try to test your belief in yourself. They'll say you're not ready, you don't have what it takes, you should slow down, you should be realistic. But what they call realism is just limitation. What they call practicality is usually fear disguised as wisdom. If you absorb their doubts and start apologizing for your confidence, you are no longer living your life. You are living theirs. You become a prisoner to their insecurities. That's why you must never explain, never defend, never dilute your belief in yourself. Because once you start, it never ends. You'll be apologizing for dreaming too big, for working too hard, for standing too tall, for demanding too much. Before long, you won't even recognize the person you've become. You'll be a watered-down version of yourself that exists only to please others. The truth is, believing in yourself is often lonely. Don't expect applause in the beginning. Don't expect everyone to understand. People applaud results, not vision. In the beginning, they'll laugh, they'll criticize, they'll try to pull you down. But once you break through, once you create what they thought was impossible, they'll be the first to clap, the first to ask for advice, the first to pretend they always believed in you. That is why you cannot let their doubt define your belief. You must carry your self-belief like armor, because in the end, it's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. When you apologize for believing in yourself, you send a message to your own mind that maybe you're not worthy. That is dangerous because your subconscious listens to every word you say. If you constantly make yourself small to avoid judgment, your brain begins to accept that you're not good enough. Then you stop taking risks. You stop chasing opportunities. You stop demanding more from life. That is how dreams die. Not because they were impossible, but because someone was convinced to stop believing. And the saddest part, it's usually not the world that destroys you. It's you apologizing for wanting more. So instead, stand tall in your belief. Own it. Say it out loud without hesitation. I believe in myself. Say it even when your voice shakes, even when no one else says it with you, even when the evidence doesn't yet exist. Because belief comes before proof. Every champion believed first, then proved it. Every empire was built on faith before it was built on bricks. Every success story starts with someone saying, I will, even when the world said you can't. That is the power of self-belief. Never confuse humility with self-doubt. You can be humble and still believe you are destined for greatness. You can respect others and still know that you are capable of more. Humility is recognizing that you're always learning, that you're never too big to grow. But self-doubt is poison. Self-doubt kills before failure ever arrives. So don't let people trick you into thinking that believing in yourself makes you arrogant. It makes you alive. It makes you dangerous to mediocrity. It makes you unstoppable. The ones who change the world are never the ones who apologize for their confidence. They are the ones who stood firm, who said, I will not shrink, who said, I will not be silent, who said, I will not bend just because it makes you uncomfortable. You must adopt that mindset. You must be unapologetic about your goals, unapologetic about your vision, unapologetic about your discipline. Because the truth is, people may dislike your self-belief in the beginning, but secretly, they will respect it. Deep down, they wish they had the courage to do the same. So let them call you arrogant, let them laugh, let them whisper. None of it matters. What matters is that you wake up every day and keep believing in yourself, keep betting on yourself, keep fighting for yourself. Because when the dust settles, the only person who has to live with the results of your life is you, not them, you. And I promise you this, if you stop apologizing and fully embrace your self-belief, you will shock the world. You will create things they said were impossible. You will rise to heights they never imagined. And when that day comes, you won't owe anyone an apology. You'll only owe yourself gratitude for never backing down. Never apologize for believing in yourself. It is not a weakness. It is your greatest weapon. Carry it like fire in your chest. Let it fuel you. Let it guide you. Let it protect you. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't belong to those who doubt. It belongs to those who believe. Standards define destiny. Raise yours, because the life you are living right now is nothing more than a reflection of the standards you've set for yourself. Everything you tolerate, everything you accept, every little compromise you make builds the framework of your future. If your standards are low, your results will be low. If your standards are average, your life will be average. But if your standards are high, unshakably high, then your life begins to shift upward, because destiny is not written by chance. It's written by the rules you enforce on yourself. Look around you right now. The way you look, the way you think, the way you spend your time, the way you treat your health, your relationships, your finances. These are all the result of standards you've either demanded or allowed. And if you're not happy with your life, the solution is simple. Raise your standards. The tragedy is most people set their standards based on comfort, not potential. They say, I just want to get by. I just want to pay my bills. I just want to be okay. And guess what? Life gives them exactly that. Just enough to survive, just enough to keep breathing, but never enough to feel alive. Why? Because that's what they asked for. But winners, champions, leaders, they demand more. They refuse to settle for just enough. They raise their standards so high that anything less than excellence is unacceptable. They don't say, I hope it works out. They say, I won't stop until it works out. That is the difference between mediocrity and greatness. Understand this. When you raise your standards, your habits must rise with them. You cannot say you want to be elite and then live like everyone else. You cannot demand success while maintaining the habits of failure. Your standards control your behavior. If your standard is discipline, you won't allow yourself to skip the workout. If your standard is growth, you won't allow yourself to waste hours scrolling your phone. If your standard is respect, you won't allow people to treat you like an option. Raising your standards isn't about saying fancy words. It's about holding yourself accountable, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about demanding more from yourself than anyone else would dare to demand. Here's the hard truth. Life gives you what you settle for. If you settle for less, you get less. If you accept disrespect, you'll keep receiving it. If you allow laziness, it will define you. And if you allow mediocrity, your destiny will be nothing more than average. That's why you must stop accepting the bare minimum. Stop excusing weakness. Stop living below what you're capable of. If you want more, raise your standards higher than your circumstances. Your environment may be average, your background may be limited, but your standards can be untouchable. And once you raise them, you'll find that life begins to match them. Think about the greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. What separates them from the rest? It isn't luck. It isn't even talent alone. It's that their standards are so high that failure to them looks like success to everyone else. They train harder. They sacrifice more. They expect more from themselves than anyone else ever could. That's why they dominate. Their destiny isn't written by chance. It's written by the relentless pursuit of higher standards. They don't negotiate with mediocrity. They don't make peace with weakness. They don't lower their bar to fit in. They raise their bar so high that the world has no choice but to recognize them. And here's something you must understand. Raising your standards is not about comparing yourself to others. It's about comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. It's about refusing to be the same version of yourself tomorrow that you are today. If yesterday you worked hard, today you work harder. If yesterday you tolerated excuses, today you cut them off. If yesterday you accepted average results, today you demand excellence. That's how you evolve. That's how you create a destiny that others can only dream of. Your destiny is not determined by luck, but by what you refuse to settle for. Of course, raising your standards comes with a cost. People will resist it. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you think you're better than them. They'll say you're too obsessed, too ambitious, too focused. But let them talk. Their words don't matter because their destiny is not yours. You don't live for their approval. You live for your future. And if that future requires sacrifice, discipline, and standards that make others uncomfortable, so be it. Because while they settle, you will rise. While they complain, you will build. While they stay average, you will become exceptional. The key is consistency. It's easy to raise your standards for a day, a week, even a month. But the real transformation comes when your new standard becomes your permanent identity. When waking up early is no longer a task, but a rule. When discipline is no longer optional, but mandatory. When respect, success, and excellence are not goals, but non-negotiables. That's when your life changes permanently. Because destiny is not shaped by what you do occasionally, but by what you demand from yourself every single day. So ask yourself right now, what standards have you been living by? Have you been settling for average health, average relationships, average effort? Have you been making excuses for why you're not further ahead? If so, the answer is not out there. It's within you. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more luck. You don't need someone else to save you. You need to raise your standards and enforce them with absolute discipline. Decide today that mediocrity is dead to you, that average is no longer acceptable, that anything less than your full potential is failure. Because here's the reality. Your standards are your destiny. You can't control every detail of life, but you can control what you demand from yourself. And once you do, life has no choice but to elevate you to match. Stop waiting for destiny to hand you greatness. Stop waiting for life to change. Raise your standards and watch your destiny rise with them. The future belongs to those who refuse to settle. Raise your standards so high that the only possible outcome is victory, and never look back. The crown belongs to the bold, not the hesitant, because life does not reward the ones who wait quietly in the shadows. Life crowns the ones who step into the arena, who take risks, who dare to demand more from themselves and from the world. The hesitant sit back, overthink, and let opportunities slip through their fingers while the bold seize them with both hands and claim victory. This is the truth. Hesitation is the graveyard of dreams. Every time you pause, every time you second guess, every time you wait for the perfect moment, life passes you by. There is no perfect moment. There is only now, and the crown goes to the one who acts now, not the one who waits until tomorrow. The bold are the ones who walk into rooms they were never invited to and take a seat at the table as if they belong there. The hesitants stand at the door, hoping someone will notice them, begging silently for approval. But approval is not given, it is taken. Respect is not handed out, it is earned through action. Success is not gifted, it is claimed by those who have the courage to act without waiting for permission. Boldness is the difference between those who dream and those who live their dreams. Understand this. The world is full of people with ideas, talents, and potential. But talent without boldness is wasted. Ideas without boldness die in notebooks. Potential without boldness rots in fear. What separates winners from losers is not ability, it's courage. The crown belongs to the bold because they are willing to fail publicly, to take risks others are too afraid to take, to put their reputation, their pride, even their comfort on the line for the chance to achieve greatness. The hesitant spend their lives planning, preparing, waiting, but never moving, and in the end they have nothing to show except regret. Boldness is not recklessness. Boldness is controlled fire. It is the ability to take action in spite of fear, to step forward when your mind screams, to step back, to do the thing that others avoid because it feels too dangerous. Boldness is looking at the risk and saying, yes, it might hurt me, but hesitation will destroy me even more. That's why the bold win. They understand that playing it safe is the riskiest thing of all. They know that fortune does not favor the careful, it favors the fearless. Look at history. Every great leader, every revolutionary, every champion, every innovator who changed the world did so because they were bold. They were laughed at, doubted, criticized, and attacked, but they acted anyway. They refused to wait for perfect conditions. They created their own conditions. They didn't sit quietly waiting for a crown to fall from the sky. They built their own thrones and placed the crown on their own heads. That is why the bold wear the crown. The hesitant, on the other hand, drown in what ifs. They want guarantees. They want certainty. They want someone to promise them that everything will work out before they take the first step. But guarantees don't exist. Certainty doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is action, and action belongs to the bold. The hesitant ask, what if I fail? The bold ask, what if I succeed? The hesitant fear embarrassment. The bold fear regret. That's why the hesitant live small lives and the bold live legendary ones. Boldness changes how people see you. When you act with courage, when you take risks, when you bet on yourself, people notice. They might not agree, they might not support you at first, but they respect the fact that you had the guts to do what they couldn't. Boldness creates momentum. One bold move creates another, and soon you are moving faster, breaking limits, building a destiny that would have been impossible if you hesitated. But hesitation does the opposite. It kills momentum. It makes you overthink. It paralyzes you. It traps you in a cycle of doubt that only gets heavier with time. Boldness also builds self-respect. Every time you act boldly, even if you fail, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you have courage, that you are alive. Every time